Okay. Welcome back to the Greatest Eternity Chronicles. We're up to Game 2, Case 4. So, let's continue with this madness. The Twisted Karma and his lost bow. Lost bow.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Wilson's dead, Jim. Eight days after Earthshattering's trial, and Casimir is regaining his memories. We're in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. 1st of November, 10:42 a.m. The Great Waterloo Hotel, foyer. Professor Merkwa is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, I'm so glad we're here in time. This time hasn't been the same since what happened. But I'm surprised. For the truth about Cosmo's father. Do you suppose my father knew? That he was actually a mass murderer than the professor, you mean? And that we're talking, that was a great national secret that we're talking to aloud out in the middle of something? Yeah, I put on the free DLC outfits. Except for Sholmes' one. Sholmes' one is fucking awful. I know what he's thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they came here to London over 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Merkaba knew about Cosmo going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right. But for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk about it. Probably means so then. It's a Sholmes' outfit is a pink open kimono with a kitsune mask over the top half of his face. My cousin was showing up here in London with amnesia and regained his memory now. There she is! Oh, father! Hello, sir. How are you? Oh, thank you. We're glad to see you arrived safe and sound. Oh, Mr. Nabada, very kind of you to take a trouble in meeting us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure. I've heard all about your action exploits here in London, you know. The news crossed overseas. It has? Well, look forward to reading the monthly report that arrived by steamship from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man, and why do I feel like I've seen him before? Huh? Take an expression you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a reminder, shall I? A firm tap should do it. Yes. A firm tap? Tap what? Here we go then. Here my pronounce the defendant, Roscoe Numero. Guilty. Oh. I think my memory's quite right. I'm pretty sure I was wearing a different outfit back then. Court is now here the color of Rescue Rabbit. Your Excellency. Hello, Judge UK. How are you? It's been a long time. Ha 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 ha! Good to have you remembered now. You really did the trick. Guilty. Ha 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 ha! I was only declared not guilty, wasn't I? There's no laughing at the time. So London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's still been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. So the three people was the judge, Mr. Mopika, and Kim Kurama's father. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would be never invited to an international symposium like this. Though, really, I doubt anyone, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Mr. Shihiro? What are you talking about, youngling? Ha 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 ha! Of course, Judge Yuko. Let's complete the set. He's the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Customer's father and Professor Merkaba. He was the third visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took a rather long time. I must say, it's very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Oh, I knew you were jealous. Sorry, ministerial status? Yes, did you know? Mr. here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. He's a person who insists that allows you to make the customer's place on your study tour. Guilty as charged! Oh well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. Probably. Yes, no, Mr. Nono. I received a telegram from Long Shanghai yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that something came to light in a trial you were involved in with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. Yes, you can tell us more about it. Probably not in this public forum. It is a national secret. Oh, I guess we're doing it anyway. Erdodo. Ednohodo. That was the voyage here. Well, 50 days at sea is a long time for anyone's standards. But it wasn't as bad as when I first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. And I truly wonder if I wouldn't be drifting over vast ocean the rest of our lives. This time, we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax. So you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris? We did, yes, although for one night. And yesterday evening, we left the port of Deakin for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. Wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. Thanks to you, Shiro. 16 years ago, he managed to easily ingrate himself with the British Secretary General. But I'm sure that's why he was invited, and I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage of by default. Speak for yourself, Eugene. You're a very close friend with Professor Frederick Science at the major hospital. Yes, well, I don't know. Dredge that all up, really. Oh, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Cosmo's father's, I suppose. To be fair, I have a Norwegian ancestry, and Dutch. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of British autocracy, was actually Kurama's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Gashin Asogi. Gishin Impact! Oh no! You knew, I presume, Father? Yes. He's a close friend at the time. Gresham was a British police detective. He was studying investigation techniques in Scotland Yard. I've never understood why he drove a man to commit such horrendous acts. It was a close trial, so the public never knew the truth, but he was executed with little to do. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. What about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father?
No, of course not. He told his father passed away from sickness. However, I suspect the man may have had his doubts.
Oh, why?
As you know, I tried to guide Cosmo to grow up as if he was his own son. Then one day, he came off my office in the university and said,
I have decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Ha! Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know. When I looked into his eyes, I knew therefore no way I could stop him.
Something came to light in the trial the other day, actually.
Oh, what?
Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and being missing for almost a year, Governor Sid turned up here in London working as apprentice for Lord Venseek.
Nani? Nani? That's news to us.
So, Lord Strongheart telegram neglected to mention that part then. As you both know, no way, they make milkshakes by placing them on speakers and playing death metal. That's how they make their milkshakes. As you know, we both thought Karma had died on the ship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die, he's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father?
Actually, in fact, no. What I did know is that when you ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team investigating Hong Kong to try and understand what happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, here in London, you say? I never dared to dream it. Why on earth does this young man not make contact? The government and the police have been tracing clues furiously for months now.
Well, it seemed that he was suffering from amnesia.
Nani? Amnesia?
When we first came across him again in London, he didn't know who either of us were.
I see.
So only he regained his memory 8 days ago.
This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes, quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't tell us no. I must speak with him urgently.
Where Cosmo's been in the past few days. It'd be wrong of us to go and visit him.
It began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was you, G here, Garcia Osogi, and myself. We were original three. The first original scholars from Japan that traveled across the seas to study. What the journalist here is not today, I cannot tell you.
16 years ago, things were tough there for their generation.
Your father was an extremely fine medical student at the university at the time. You know, young lady.
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to research a great London hospital or study autopsy practically unheard in Japan. Yes, during the eerie places, sandwiched between Black Prison and Brutal Ground.
No one talk of graves.
Very often, there was no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy led to something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyard and prisons.
Not my cup of tea at all. Please move on.
Do you remember the Scottish Yard prison governor? Kenneth. His name was a good man. Yes, but of course, 16 years here, everything changed in a dreadful case. When Geshen was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders.
Knife goes in, guts come out.
I simply couldn't believe it. I didn't know the man for years. I was a witness secretly hearing the child we speak in his defense, but
you were a little too far into facing up charges yourself, didn't you?
Well, suffice to say, after the trial, we were sent back to Japan.
There's nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was lost cause, sadly. So which of these two are gonna die?
Well, if you will choose us now. Yes, I'd like to get the trunk up to my room as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have held you up with you so long. I'll call from the port out then. Just wait here. Woo, 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 woo. There's a gun off on a run.
I'd like to see stay and talk more, but I have a very preparation to make for tomorrow.
Yes, of course. I must be big responsibility of representing the entire country. I wish I knew you best of luck.
Naruto.
I hope you'll keep an eye on Satoso for me. Keep looking after her as obviously you have been. Oh no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me.
Well, I do appreciate you being there for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I thoroughly let her down.
Sorry? What do you mean?
Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study here tour into Britain. The very year Satoso was born.
Yes, I heard.
The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly, I was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life too.
Oh yes, Satoso's son hinted something like that. Her mother died in her birth. It was rather a turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits the grown man. With that, Satoso offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried for you to leave you behind, so I'm perhaps a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. That's what happened in a nutshell. It's also a reason why I felt compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not really afford young women such things, I must say.
I completely understand, Professor.
Ah, one other thing, Mr. Nodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh really? Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, I need you to kill this person.
Oh. Ah, it's that guy! I'm sorry it took so long. Miss Satoso. Now then, take your bags. Welcome, Dragon Jay. Let me take you back.
I'll take your bags. One moment. If you please, Potter. Of course, sir. Machine around your desk. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right. 5 shillings for a lovely photograph of accommodate your wonderful stay in a hotel. There. Well, I think on given occasion, I could justify the expense. Ah, yes, of course.
Why did you get changed for the picture? I don't know! Why did you change back? I still don't know! I have to thank you for coming with me, Sonado. You really made Father very happy, I think. Oh well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupting before. What were we interrupting for? Professor Makemoto was about to... Must be something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris to have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go. Getting more and more anxious of Karma though. I have to try and meet Lord Strongheart later after him. After him, I'll go right there. 1st of November, the British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice's office. Bleh. Here's the final draft of the opening of the dress for tomorrow's proceedings. I have supplemented your original with the figures you'll ask for in the yard.
I see. Excellent work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bleh, my lord.
What's Lord Van Zeke doing here? Oh my, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. I don't need any more tension. You didn't kick my ass.
My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. You're supposed to let your dark dress make you a bit invisible to me.
Oh no. Entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from the head to toe whenever you are here. Come here.
Now then, Mr. Nardo.
Yes, my lord? I'm right here.
I'm going to kick your ass for getting my forensic investigator arrested.
Ah, kill me now.
Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you.
No, that's not all. I just mean, I never experienced a room with such perfect temperature.
If you're sure, The beads of sweat caving down your face seem to suggest otherwise.
Because of the dagger you're staring at me, Manly.
As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London early today, I hear, madame.
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's very honoured to have been invited.
Blah. I'll leave the remaining preparations for your meeting in your room, capable hands, Lord Van Dijk.
Blah, I will attend to it once.
I don't know how he disappears like that. He just vanishes into nothing. There are a few bats around, though.
He gave you a very cold stare, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything. Have I?
These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years has recently put out of action, but in spectacular fashion.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Your left hand is still in service? No. He's talking about Dr. Scythe.
Ah, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, fear not, you've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing participated in the situation. You need to concern yourself with it and further.
I feel like you're gonna beat me to death with your cane as soon as I turn around. Really, if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me.
Lord Van Dijk is now a more admirable job of holding down the fort. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday.
Oh, missing. Hey, he died again. Jesus. You gotta stop killing people, you gotta stop dying. What's become a Cosmo Summon now?
Not long ago, I visited us number of great exhibition exceeding 13 million.
30 million? There's even that many people in the world? By comparison, Naruto, the population of the imperial capital of Tokyo is 2 million.
Of every International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making, 2 years of preparation and negotiations with other countries.
Sounds like you have a tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques.
Actually, you gotta wait till a few years after that when Apollo Justice starts.
Cooperation between the policy organization and the Globe of Essentials. Which is why the landmarks of podium heads are the proud of the Great British Empire.
Did the birds right that time, sir?
Yes, you did the birds perfect. In order to Scotland Yard to become the leading investigation organization for the world.
He's the same as ever, I see. The passion for is quite something. You're very bit as passionate as your own way. I assure you, Mr. Naruto.
I'm the president of the country who could truly transmit the future embraces of forensic science. It's my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. I first established the launch forensic team a year ago, expected to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, steadily accruing impressive record of achievements. I was on the verge of changing the name and evaluating the status of the full-blown forensic investigation department.
And you cannot do that now.
Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. These men in London will be cursing their forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say.
I did read portions of our trial. Naruto, run! I'll try and hold him back! We simply couldn't have overlooked what happened, you know.
Of course not. We should be all grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll start reforming the country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but I won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way.
About Lord Van Dijk's apprentice?
Ah, yes. He came surprised to me too, I must say. That you are our old friends.
How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Dijk in the first place?
Came out 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by the border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my. We stowed away to get here.
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly Eastern descent, there's no clue to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeke, so he would keep an eye on him.
But then, why the mask?
I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zeke with tiresome explanation about why he had an Eastern apprentice.
Because it would be much easier to explain why he had wearing a mask.
He's proving to be a great help, Lord Van Zeke. I have high hopes for him in his future.
By the way, do you know where he's gone?
Fucked if I know. No idea. I believe he left London sometime being.
Oh.
I think you also didn't know. The man's father was once the country's most infamous killer,
Genshin Asogi. What we learned from the trial 8 days ago now is a huge shock. Finding out that my friend's father was...
Yes, Genshin Asogi. The Fessa case 10 years ago caused a great stir in Great Britain.
There were such awful murders and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. The true identity of killer could not be made public in that case. It's becoming public now. Nobody in our country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
We know. We should go tell everyone. My motivation was to avoid aggressive relations between the two nations at that time, understand?
Correct. However, it had to be noticed there were some supporters of the Professor's Apprentice cause.
What? Supporters of mass murder?
Majority of the man's victims were a blight on the site across.
God, I can't pronounce this word.
Aristocracy of the day. Somehow, ironically, their deaths actually benefit society as a whole. Also, a few thinkers of London believed anyway.
Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? Seems very similar, doesn't it? The idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. I have no evidence to present you. Well, let's go talk to Mr. Sholmes and Iris. I need to get my high voice ready. Wait, Kazuma's master's on the table. What was that? A man screaming? In the most unflattering way. Do you think it could have been Mr. Sholmes? Am I? I hope not.
I didn't do it anymore!
Mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hair. Bright red. I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes.
Right, you two, you're coming with me now. Down to the clink.
I think these are some Scottish people.
No, not prison! It's dark and damp, I don't like it!
Wolf, the darkness, that's my friend. I am not scared.
Aye, but you're always scared of the dark!
Shut your mouth, you idiot! I shall quietly into the dark and the plane the next morning exists.
Aye, I don't like it, I don't like it!
Well, Thor, we'll finish this down the yard. Yeah, get moving. Bye then, Genie. Have fun.
Oh yeah, thanks Iris. And thanks by the great detective.
Whatever. I'm Australian. I'm on the other side of the world. You can't blame me. They're not my neighbours like you. She makes a fine detective, doesn't she?
Oh, Susie, Bruno!
Hello, Iris. We're home.
Oh, did you find your daddy?
We arrived in the hotel just before his friend.
Oh, wow, that's great news!
Maybe I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Oh, just fucking tell her already. Ah, yes, of course. So, Iris, all that remains now is the greatest problem known to man. He fucking dyed his hair. Before we concern ourselves with that, I believe that some tea is in order, mate. Don't you, my dear fellows? Is something wrong with the hello? Don't come to my, or such like on my face. Not so much your face as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed lovely special blend. Time for tea. What is going on here today? If that's the case, let me sit down and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting the great guest letter today. What a shame. Who are those two gentlemen that were here before us? Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, just bad criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course I have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manners of infractions. When the mood takes you. All manner of infractions. But when such fellows set their sights on Sherlock Holmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. No, I think it's just something he's done because he's an idiot. His hair shouldn't have changed colour. Am I your targeting crime, Mr. Sholmes? I quickly devised a plan to interrupt them and deliver them to the young detective ally. You should have asked Greggsy to come too. I could get him interested in the tea party and shot him in the ankle. I did send word, but there's no answer for his phone's coming. The man is constantly in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Ah, I have it. A bungler. A bungler. That's the word. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. The redheads have been up to no good. I wonder if what the men did. He stopped doing change the outfit. He dyed his hair red out of spite and an inanimate game person. What's the other greatest problem known to man you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly fictitious case, Mr. Holmes? How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Well, I think I heard talk of it somewhere. Possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was nearly proposed 40 years ago now. She pulled that out of her armpit because she doesn't have sleeves anymore. According to the author Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in treetops. What? Nani? What the? What? Wait, Nani? We're apes? Indeed. And from the very moment those apes descended from the company to live human lives, excuse me, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Our lot? It's a great problem, Mr. Holmes. Why is it not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent! Ha! But didn't you just receive a large sum of money from Madame Turnspell the other day? Pshaw! A large sum. One potted herb of iron from Erebus and then moved a car for me later, and all the quiet disappeared. I'm sure you bought a fucking car! Honestly, Haley, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered an answer to the man's greatest problem, for coming this month at least. And that was that answer. Why? There's a substantial clue. Before your very eyes. The fact you bought a motherfucking car in this day and age is ridiculous. Oh, please tell me, let me see. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what's in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but must observe very closely. One particular feature of my person that has changed, you should notice at the end, I think. In the end. You're stabbing both eyes up from the very beginning of that conversation. I think it might have been another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Nando. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out for this charade goes on much longer. Ha! I've stumped you! Mr. Holmes, the amount of time you told us the truth. Over a week ago, you said to us. His hair's white again now, see? And I'll tell you something, the first important... The great detectives are not what the... won't lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Just so you can see it, I'll show you the outfit. It was a truly disgusting outfit. I think I'll stick to the normal outfit. Yeah. I did scroll through them to see what I unlocked. The case aboard the SS Bro in January. Cosmo wasn't killed, and you knew that he wasn't dead at the time. So was it really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. He hadn't regained consciousness when he did. His life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, the side effect of the prolonged contrast state was amnesia, as you know. It was simple enough to take the task to silence the crew. But how? After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them to the lobby area. They made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Why? Oh, how horrible! It was necessary to find some material in which to persuade the crewmates to keep their word, of course. But why? Why did you do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate that in due course. But for the time being, I would like you to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? Disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh. I even may have been made a gross error in judgment, Mr. Sholmes. Must come aboard the night he was assigned to Lord Van Zeeks' apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial day, I just sort of picked it up. I'll just give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now. He doesn't he? I can't help but feeling he might turn around and tell me the cowardly way I did myself. Isn't it your best friend? Should never know why his hair's red. He's an asshole, but he probably died it himself as a joke. Hey, little Mac. This looks like last week's edition. What's that circled in red ink here? It's no time for a column. It says, "To the Red-Headed League." The Red-Headed League? What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but... Is something on my face? Clearly has something to do with that. Lively hair. I did sleep well, but I woke up early and couldn't get back to sleep, so I just put around on my phone in bed. Until I got up and went to work. Get £4 per week if you are a redhead. I think he just dyed his hair so he can get $4 a week as passive income. Again, a banquet of Highlands and Hopkins, of limited of the PA USA. There is now another vacancy open in which enlists members to a league of salaries £4 a week purely nominal services. All redheads who have been sound in body and mind above the age of 21 years are eligible to apply with a person in the morning of 31st of Lane Park Lime Street. It looks as though you're someone's circled advertisement in the paper to shows. To the Red-Headed League. Does it strike you in some way? I think it just might be related to your bright red hair. So, I love you learned to apply my methods, Mr. Nardo. What? In the first instance, you were quite indispensable observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast? Fuck, that reminds me. So, Red-Headed League. It seems to be subject to admin in the shift circled. You know, it's a paper then. My dear fellow is going to source of this month's payment. It was how? According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of an unspecified government. In fact, only condition of becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me. But listen to what lucky redheads receive once they join. An occasional salary of £4 per week. Oh my, £4 a week. But why? Why would the people do that for? That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement. Surely a red-headed person in the country will be flocking to join the course. You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put it in my application at once. So will I just, on the off chance. Might be stretching the point, I think. Trouble is, you have a fixed number of members, you see. Oh, I see. So if certain members to join, no one else can. But as luck would have it, one member previously passed away. I ate his liver. You what? Never mind. It tasted like syrup. I wasn't particularly lucky for the red-headed person, was it, as I feel. So you decided to try. So you tried to join this place. Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such red hair, you fellow? No. So why? Why'd I have to go so wrong? What on earth are you talking about? I blunder, Mr. Nardo. Your blunder. Audience man had green hair. What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes? I'm glad you asked, Mr. Sataso. What you see on top of my head is neither dyed nor hairpiece. I changed the color of hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry? Conducting some research into the method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves. He stained his hair red with tea leaves. In the course of my work, I stumbled upon a poster which turns one's hair red like flame like red. Would you like to try it? It'll make every hair on your head perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass. Coward! Mr. Sholmes, you're quite safe to drink. Surely it'd be bad for you, isn't it? Amateur is always hampered by such fears. Oh, I should have done him. He poisoned himself with poison. form of poison into his hair. But of course. And £4 a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to little danger. That degree of red signal is more than a little danger, surely. So anyway, Haley left the full confidence yesterday with her new red hair. For the Park of Lime Street, the Red-Headed League of interviewing prospective new members. So what went wrong? The whole park was choked with redhead folk like Chris Orange Burrow. I queued for 8 hours solo before at last they reached the front. When the panel of viewers saw me, they immediately said, Mr. Hillock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation? So naturally I had no choice but to reply, Shh, don't give me away, don't give me away. After which I could do little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked at the mirror, it irrationally stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. Wait, what the fuck? They didn't let you join, so you got them arrested? What the fuck? Yeah, it was a disaster for Haley, so those two redheads. What did they do? Did you just... Ding-a-ling-a-ling! Aha! Here's my guest now. My last client with money to spend. Oh, I have an exciting case, Hurley. Remember, Iris, we're at the present giving the greatest problem known to man. Must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating or location a runaway, of course. Don't hurt anyone's feelings, will you? Hi, dear. I'm afraid Hurley is lack a little tact, especially when it comes to rent is due. Oh, please! Oh my! Mr. Combs, please! Oh, please! Oh, please find my husband! He ran away! Juror number 2! To upset me. I beg your pardon? Never mind, person's matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Nardo? I didn't say a word! Fuck you! Come on, my dear madame. Take me seated. Iris, set some tea, would you please? Of course. As long as it's not another runaway case. Help me find my husband. He ran away. Fuck. What's the matter? What's the matter, Miss Cedisto? Oh, it's just that the gentlewoman. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently. Yes, I know you come to mention it. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigili. Evie Vigil. I implore you, you must take the case, sir. Money is no object, simply name no figure. Money and wealth is of little consequence to me, madame. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're a picture of benevolence. I'll of course make the mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you'll remember your word also. If I might inquire, sir, this gentleman and lady would be... me? What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest of confidences. You understand? Get the fuck out of my house! I assure you, be before a pair of anything which may have said to me. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Why do I ever get my hopes up? Mr. Vigili. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigili, but we met somewhere before, quite recently perhaps. Oh my! Pshaw, my fellow! What is your intentions? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of an English. If you wish to investigate the lady tea, you must go in a more gentleman fashion. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? Ah, I knew I recognized her. to have the man's fate in one palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, this sent shivers down my spine. I didn't quite recognize it as acting so differently now. I must have very difficult for you to say, if you was a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry, if I can't hear you, I'll slip my request, or really nothing more. Now that we've done this, now that we've started the show, thank you very much. Oh, I believe it prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I'll have to talk to this lady, Mr. Vigili. That's about your husband, madame. Mr. Vigili, my dear Daly, 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. Entirely unremarkable gentleman. By appearance, at least. How long have they been married? It'll be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship. My husband's income is more than adequate to live quite comfortably. Ah, it appears. I don't need to look at you to see these things. Oh gosh. You're dressed in the latest style. Your head is clearly irregularly groomed. Your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling of why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That is right. He's a kind man for strong sense of loyalty. He'd rather dote on me. Which is the point of the probability. He's become important to some incident or another. Oh, exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so quite beside myself. My husband is employed with someone unusual, you see. If it had occurred with Michigan ill will. What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder in the prison. My God, that's somewhat unusual. He beats people with bats saying oi oi oi. It's really tiring. He beats them all day. Husband's a prison warder? That's right. He was in fact the chief warder. I see. Well, chief prison warder clearly qualifies as something as a special occupation. Yes, I do believe it does. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments. I see they're carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does he mean capital punishments? And at such times, it must occasionally spend a night or two in prison dormitory. But for that extraordinary extra responsibility, he's reimbursed more handsomely than any other warders. Of course, he makes no mention of my husband to work at the neighbors. Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, what prison is your husband engaged? Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes. Really? Barclay? A fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery behind it. Yes, that is correct. Lowgate Cemetery. Everything's going in circles, in circles, in circles. Lowgate Cemetery. Very place we discussed in court. The unbelievable. Unbelievable! My dear fellow. And yet undeniable. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've lost me. Ah, pay no heed, madame. Pay no heed. Private matter. It really can't be a coincidence, can it? So, tell the matter of your husband's disappearance. When do you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry, yesterday. Really is recent. Possibly so. The truth is, my husband at times have occasionally spent the night at his work. It's not all out of the ordinary for him not to return home that night. But this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day. It certainly had never happened before. Oh, please, my dearly, whatever can happen. My name is Vigil. Please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, They refused to listen to my pleas that my husband has been missing for only one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home. In truth be vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. There's no reason we should not engage in my deductive powers to track down your husband down anyway. Ah, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, the chance to solve the great problem is known to man as another month is not bearing my decision. I think only to put a sweet smile on another Linda's face. That's really all there is to it. Why are you winking at me, Sholmes? Oh, you have my eternal gratitude as I pay you a sum you care to mention. All of it. He actually started to smile a bit. You seek to put the sweet rent on your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe our time formally needs to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me as soon as you good news, sir. Fear not, madame. And as I do, I shall contact you with hitting your report, quite sure. Oh, so soon. How splendid, Mr. Sholmes. Good news will be delivered early, as I always say. Be so kind as to leave a photograph of your husband in my possession. I got a fool. Okay then. Thank you. And now, allow me to show you the dog. Hey, what are you doing? Look at this photograph. His eyebrows aren't straight. And now you can't unsee those crooked eyebrows. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Jones. It is quite marvelous. Why you pushed me out the door? Hey, can we talk a little more? Get out. But Jones, I said get out. You know, I think every time Hurley. But how did it come out with such nonsense? Good news for a day or two. Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course, but then I don't sweat on it. I'm gonna give the good woman some hope. I hope they'll be able to give her some good news, one might say. After all, rent must be paid at the end of the month tomorrow. And by that time, if I've successfully located Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naito? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, do you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent! What do you make of it? Well, I'm surprised to learn that her husband was worked at Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that? Of course, it appeared in orange text on the screen. That means it's important to make a note of it. Look at the cemetery. Is it the rear end of Barclay Prison? So I was now among students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of the condemned of the convicts. So Barclay Prison. The notorious man is incarcerated. The professor. And now the warder from the prison mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. Very particular. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain. Mr. Nutter, wait. Sorry, what? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, wouldn't you? The prison's government you want, no doubt the men will keep them worried. But aren't you going to go yourself? Sure, you needn't ask. I can't possibly see that with this hair. But didn't you go to Lounge Street with that hair? That's quite a different matter. I leave it to you. I leave it to your capable hands now. Excuse me, I'm rather busy. Arrivederci! Of course you are. Yes, he's sitting. He's gonna be sitting in his chair, isn't he? Oh, he's not. Oh, ours isn't in a chair either. Barclay Prison, outskirts of London, beckoning to lone brutal ground. fuller. Its four outer high walls loomed quietly before the fog. And requested me a meeting. They showed me to the governor's office in the watchtower. Jesus fucking Christ, look at that clock! Fuck me! This place is full of hiding. Can't even remember that last time a civilian was doomed here. And you don't know talking with the inmate, but to me. Damn it. What's Armstrong's voice from Full Metal Alchemist? You can know who I am. The governor bear the current home. Oh yes, it's a pleasure. I'm a defense lawyer. An Easterner, I see. Does that mean? Yes, I'm visiting student from law in the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yes. Very well. Any of your kind here? Well, there's any of your kind here, laddie, you must show the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, I come to ask you a question about. I do not like to be discreet, but I have no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. Now get the hoot out of my hair. So as he finds out I'm from Japan, he reacts like this. It surely means. I think it's because of the professor's case. I think so too. 10 years ago, Junto Asogi and Professor the person. What pain did I know? Well, he caught a toucan. He got a toucan from the jungle. It's in the cage. It gives me the execution. Apparently re-emerged in these grievance, simply in prison. I might have known. You're sniffing around the case, aren't you? Look at this massive combo. Yeah, spinning combo. Orange, it's part of the Professor's great weapon, no doubt. No, not at all. We're just get on with it before I punch you all the way, dude. We're going. Sadly, the ghost of the killer still haunts this place. We're not gonna get anywhere here. So you can somehow prove this man that is nothing suspicious about us. Conversation. What do you think, Mr. Edison? I felt sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. I wonder if whoever mentioned it might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Mustache. It's a McDover over there. Oh, hello, you two. The moment I catch up with the old on the world, I'm unpacked. Oh, where's that jerky? He's not here in the store. He's taking himself off to pay the respects to the illegal bigwigs. Have you only just arrived in the country today? Goodness, he's full of emergencies. I'm Professor. I said something before about the person governor of Barclay Prison. Oh, Governor Kennedy, you mean? So that's the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we're suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompany you, you'll be a very different story. Oh, would you? That'd be wonderful. If you have time now. Sadly, you can see I'm very busy at the moment. Sitting down reading a newspaper. Busy drinking coffee and comfortable satay. Now. I've rather want to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Can everyone fucking read his mind? His Mopa is alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or, I could be that Yamazo is alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts. Let that fall out now. I have an idea. What's writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully this will be in the... When he sees the name, he'll change his tone. Oh, thank you. Letter of introduction has been entered into court record. Good luck with you then. Paper. Ah, yes. Eat it. You can cast your eyes to this, Governor Kenneth. What is this then? You come to pull over the wool of my eyes, my good Japanese student. Bakoba. That young jock from the Foreign Forensics Laboratory. Mr. Bakoba? Yes, exactly. Him. Oh dear, perhaps you should have said something sooner. I'm Yuri's Bakoba's daughter, Sataso. Jigs! You're the young man's daughter? Did you not think to mention that before? I do apologize. Oh, well, let's take seats then. I can offer you a cup of tea, perhaps. Jesus Christ, there's a tiny biscuit. Wait, the tiny biscuit handcuffs! And then I forget to try one of these weird handful biscuits. Your father and twins is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the onset now. You should just do that to everyone you meet. So then, what can I do for you then? Well, they're currently investigating a case. One of the wanderers you seem to have gone missing. Missing? That's right. Surely you reported you as well, being the prison governor. I haven't heard anything about that sort of thing. No one's a missing person in my prison. Oh, but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, the chief wanderer. Eh? Vigil? That's right. The wife came and asked us about investigating his disappearance. Let's get to the part about him ongoing and the missing yesterday from now. Clearly that means something to him. I have a very bad feeling about this. I think I'm going to stick my head in the clock right now to get it over with. Aye, of course. I understand Mr. Vigil was chief warder here at the prison. Aye, yes he was. I strongly those had the responsibility to carry through his job, no doubt who. He'd be a fine wanderer. Sorry, did you say was? Aye. Doesn't work for me no more. He left his job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's the question. It was a bit... Wait, is he Canadian? I cannot say much then. 10 years ago now. What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye. As I mind it, do you ken? I haven't seen heard a fella named since that time. That's the worry, it's gone missing though. But Mr. Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Nodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think he's only where Nongu works here. Governor Kenneth, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil get his job here? That's important, is it? Was he a redhead and joined the Redhead League? I believe maybe. What do you think of Mr. Nodo? Can I put wondering, given that it was 10 years ago, which was exactly when the professor was being held at the prison. So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of Chief Wanderer 10 years ago, you're telling us. What made him leave his job? In actual fact, he didn't leave his job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. What do you mean? He was dismissed? A walk? Ah, an execution.
When your daughter is first under the child born, the earliest in execution, you see. Or is it the time or thinking at the last walking in the room? What did he do? Okay, first when you talk, it's really hard. You're very muffled. I saw what a court granted information. But I can tell you a very rare occurrence Chief Wonder relates of his post. But why would Miss Vigil know about it? She appears to wonder under its impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't care anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you have to answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what would that be then, Hen? The last execution Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm no liberty to discuss that answer. I see. Professor Mukaba. My father came to be Britain all these years ago in order to study forensic science medicine. We seem to have well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need a fresh corpse for forensic research. Do you know? Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory known on the far side of the government graveyard in the basement of Sun Street. It's still used today. Mr. Center Street came up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right. We've been there. McCormick and I have used the riddle carriage together. It's to run a carriage together and negotiate terms. For fresh materials, I suppose. Alright, and he used to sit in the head. That was my mind! Everyone can read my goddamn fucking mind! Alright, I used to sit hours and grab on the boot decisions and saw which takes me back. A report tea and a plate of cuff biscuits, of course. Charming. You're only eating half of every biscuit. So you have a bunch of like one cuffs laying around? Yes, I call them Cheerios. I'll make a cereal out of it one day. Cheerios are just half-eaten cuff biscuits. He was a good fella, your father. Reliable, dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Isoki, I suppose? Well, I can do anything else? Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, we'll for your way then. He has an axe in his fucking pocket. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to prison. What's this? It's a vigil's dismissal notice. 10 years ago now, of course. Oh my, are you sure? Aye, no trouble at all. Thank you for original man. I can't seem to pick an accent for him. Thank you so much, Governor Kevin. I'll in return. Do you favor come back here? The case is closed. I'll never come back. The case is closed. Oh, well, look. You stick his head inside the clock to see if its time is right. Oh, God! Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sherms with what we found, Mr. Vigil. What do we tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? Well, it's going to be more interesting for him, at least. You know, what's his interesting case? Hello, Dragon J. Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoy your work. The 1st of November. Sherms' sweetie. We're back. Oh, hello, you two. Oh, Tyrus. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones and all. That's Michelle's. Fuck! Jesus Christ, really? Greeting, my dear fellows! You returned good deal sooner than I was anticipating.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes. That's just my blue hair.
Say nothing. Your thoughts are in all of your faces in any case. It turns out many have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before applying it.
Oh my.
Pray tell me, what of your wandering friend? What of our wanderer friend? Have you gained any information?
Oh, yes, something very surprising, in fact. Although, it's no patch for your hair, to be honest. It certainly isn't, but still, we must discover that... Sholmes!
Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes! This is more important.
Gina?
I can't, Adam, Eve.
What happened? There's a story behind that I will explain not in stream. I'll explain on Discord later.
Keep the color going, Vanner, indeed. For Miss Lonsday, they made no mention of my hair whatsoever.
It's the boss. What do you mean? Wait, Inspector Grayson dead?
The boss he's dead.
What?
They just found his body, shot with a pistol.
Nani? No, Detective Gregson is dead. But, Inspector Gregson, he was murdered?
No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl, and tell us the whole fucking story.
His arteries, they exploded all over everyone. It looked like a gunshot. It was madness. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Grayson he was really shot?
I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rent room building full of flats over Finito Street. That's got to town. Nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case there. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about who's no case around there.
Oh, how strange.
The boss he was so good to me. I don't have to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd become a proper detective.
Oh, Jeannie. So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is?
They got him already.
Already? They've caught the shooter so soon?
A witness reported something going on, and then the boys got there straight down there and took care of him.
Who's this awful person? Let me guess. I would take a wild guess that it's... Daily Vigili.
I still can't believe it myself.
Gina?
It was the Reaper.
The Reaper? Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Vaughn Van Zeke for it?
That's right. The Reaper bloke's gone. Shot the boss.
No, what Van Zeke's?
Are you quite sure, Miss Lunsday? It's Brooke Van Zeke the police have arrested. Yeah, I saw him with my own eyes interviewing in the yard.
I don't believe it.
But there was a witness, and they all saying it was him.
So you mean there's actual multiple witnesses?
They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got down to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper bloke in the room.
Henry locked all murders out the fucking solve in this goddamn games. But there's no way Lord Van Zeke would have taken against his life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Thank you for your time, Miss Lante. It's really most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Muffin. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over the scene right now. Please come on all, as soon as you can. You gotta help. She climbed out the window. As the detective lot to appear to whatsoever sinister plot to have unfolded. Little wonder, she looked a little haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes? What the use of being the great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How could something happen to Gregson? To Gregson! Mr. Naruto, I shall leave at once to begin my investigation. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Larry Pratt and see what he can glean. I'm sure I have no intention to get away. I shall father a horse and name Super Saiyan Blue Horse. Later then. He climbed up the fireplace. Hello, Susie. I've called you. Handsome and waiting outside. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. So. Yes. I thought it would have been Van Zeke's would have been the final case, not the second last case. This place is not, blur. It feels like my coffin, blur. And I've eaten all the wild turkeys I can ever want in the world already, blur. There he is, Lord Van Zeke behind bars. So it's true, he really was arrested. He's sitting back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zeke. I was expecting him to turn back and just ignore us. Blur. Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. I could very well not come. What would happen? That Inspector Gregson was blur. Go home, this had nothing to do with your blur. But forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but I must disagree. Blur. Inspector Gregson was very helpful us on a number of occasions. We endeavored to him. At the very least, we owe him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigation, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. You're just reading the back of yourself there. Was there something related to the case? Blah. This. He died in the quite so clever about this information as to share the case details with the suspect. This is the letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hebrand. Of course, yes. Kept forgetting they went the same university. But I would like to read my correspondence in peace, so let me get started with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Lord Zeke never mentions his words, but they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. It's probably blur. It's probably these iron bars between us, but I can still explode you with my mind powers as a vampire. Did you tell us what sort of story, Lord Van Zeeks? What happened? Blur. How much do you already know? You know, the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room in Forsyth Street. And that we were found by the police when they arrived at the scene and immediately arrested. We told them there was no one else in the room. And then some witnesses heard gunshots. Blur. Then you're well informed. There's really nothing more I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened to myself. But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire a gun, did you? Blah, I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work with alongside. Also, I heard a noise, however. Before I tried to investigate, it was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. Mama asked, what are you doing in the place to begin with? I was dyeing my head red to get £4 a month. Tell nobody. I don't need to answer that. Oh, blah. After all, you're not representing me. He's going to need a lawyer, though. Who's going to represent you in court? Lord Van Zeeks? Blah. Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Ah! I bet Ron really you have no representation as yet. Blah. The fund wants to shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you'll know. But this is different. Blah. In my career, all the defense I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked how now. Surely not. Blah. I'm sure no defense lawyer will want to touch this end of a bad pole. So you don't actually have any to do with those people's deaths, do you? Did you? Blah. It's been 10 years now since I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the truth identity of the killer more than I. However, blah. It seems to come to a head before I have a chance to uncover the truth about it. What does he mean by that? Blah. After the trial, the Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. Instead, it informed me that the safe arrived at home, arranged by passage to the sea rail. Blah. It's a relief, I must say. He should be beyond the reach of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people aboard. You mean? Blah. Yes. So it seems. You have stopped Little Napoli's friend, for example. You told him you were keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an alternate, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Hairbrains is safely back in Germany now. Blah. He is. Blah. Well, you say blur all the time. I have a big tongue. Help me speak clearly, blah. So it appears our conversation has run dry. There's a 2 second silence, and that's all. When in any event, you'll excuse me now. I wonder like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zeeks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. I'm happy to advocate for you. Blah. You trust me, do you? Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. I'm quite sure you would never have taken another man's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in court of law, sadly. Actually, it's called a character witness. It can be. It's the whole point of some trials, you assholes. It's a very gracious offer, however. I trust no one. Nani? Not the police, not the judiciary, not you and the Punanese. But please. I have no intentions of engaging your services. The chasm between us just is too wide, too deep. I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will have to waste more time. Let's need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. I am a racist asshole. All vampires are. Were they investigating the Reaper together in this room? First number, room on Fronto Street. Yes, right. It's a red wig. It's really the other way in London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So dusted and rent an old room with the even. So this is where the poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't think he's home here yet, though. Perhaps he's investigating if taking him elsewhere. Oi, what do you think you're doing there? Everyone on the drawer's got to be taken right so you can look underneath it all.
I want this place above the ceilings checked too. Don't forget the chimney stack too. And blimey, you ain't got whatsoever. Thank you. Yeah, whatsoever look for down owners of town. He's obviously got some unique investigation techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Oi! Oh, you've turned up at last. Mind you, you ain't been long myself. Hello again, Gina. Judge only just left. You're lucky you missed it. Tea's here, and with cake this time. You went prancing about here and pointing stuff like flicking that, and this and that, and scrapping. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Cake. Oh. Banana and walnut. Yeah, you didn't stop saying nothing. No one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Otto. You're a lawyer, right? Yeah? Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to keep the Reaper bloke, trying to help the Reaper bloke, are ya? Oh, poor Gina. Chewing ASMR. Is everyone forget that this year the trial haunted her forever? Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Van Zeke really is responsible for this crime, he would duly be fairly judged in court. Ellipses. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on, Otto, get investigating. I want to know the truth about what's really happening here. Thank you, Gina. Why are they letting her run the investigation? She's a fucking rookie. I'm sure every single police officer will be kicking the shit out of her. So about that, it's a very dense cake. So some sort of nose board or something. And my mouse isn't got it. It doesn't literally grab the paper. Ah, no, look. This, you mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? You can see the case right here. It shows a prison inmates. Yes, it's all facts documents only a normal detective would be able to acquire. What on earth is this room? No newspaper cuttings? Ah, this one here. Oh yes, advertisement you mean. To the Red-Lighted League. But why? What's it doing here? About this room is clearly interested in the for some reason. Everyone wants that sweet £4. £4 is a shit ton back in those days. Jesus Christ, that'd be a crap ton of money. Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it means a picture of Inspector Griggs' family member. Ah! What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. There. There, look. Mr. Quickly. It's Mrs. David. Well, four quid back. £4 back in like
when did Britain and Japan first, start diplomatic relations, like the 1780s or something? Of course she's familiar. Of course she's familiar. We met her this morning. Because they've only been diplomatic relationships for 14 years in this game. Ah, it's Miss Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Miss Vigil in here? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either. Frame photo entered the court record. What's behind the frame? There's always something behind the photos. Oh, I can't see behind it. Never mind then. Wait. Chief Warden Daily Vigil relieves his post, immediately affecting the violated clause 132 of the James Code. All rights of redundancy, pay, and federal benefits be fully revoked. Raise Vigil, aiding the beheading of the escaped prisoner of convict is prior to execution. Case of this escape will be investigated, fully corroboration and inspected. Additional note: indications are that the jailbreak plot was convinced prior to the convict's incarceration. I believe that the convict engaged in some sort of negotiation with the prison staff in order to secure assistance and fully disclosure information regarding negotiations that were demanded. Goddamn redheads breaking the law. Wig! Since I came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funny enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is. A bright red hairpiece. I suppose the fact that it's right here next to where the body was found means to accept that Inspector Gregson wore the wigs, doesn't it? And in such a flame coloured red too. Yes, the colour crossed my mind very recently elsewhere, didn't it? Exactly. There's a vital clue, I'm sure of it. Yes, we shall hit people. We shall perform wig combat. Aha, spinny one. Whoop. I always wonder what on the underside of the hairpiece looked like. Well, doesn't surprise me at all, Miss Minato. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure it's quite how I put it. I must say, you use a lot of bird lime to keep it placed in your head. So it doesn't get blown off in the wind, I mean. Might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? Are we missing anything in the wig? Oh no, it's a Beyblade! I appear to have found a gun. I'm inspecting it closely to make sure it is a gun. I'm not quite sure if it's a gun yet. Oi. This is presumably the murder weapon then. Oh my! It's real, I suppose. It looks like a keychain. There's a keychain ring on the bottom. I think so. Those are rare in Japan, really don't know little about them. There's no way to know for sure, Mr. Rose. Fire a shot! No. If I did that, I'd be looking at a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. It's slightly safer just to ask someone who knows, I think. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh my! It's real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so range. Oh, really? Wow, the whole thing. Wait. This whole thing just one. I guess they don't want me to check the gun. I think people got a note. Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. Rather charming, isn't it? In a way. Is he on the floor here? Do you think he belongs to Mr. Gregson? It's not hard, Mr. Lord. It's not so hard to imagine Lord Vader playing with something like this. It's only 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. They recorded as evidence just in case. I agree. The doll was the murderer all along. It was the doll. Well, this charming policeman appears to have been a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced it was the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily handhandled. I just somebody was enjoying twisting it around and around and around and around for fun. It's the thinker! It'll tell the time if you twist its head. Shall we twist it around and around for fun? Ah, what the fuck is that? It appears to be some sort of key. It's tiny though, it could be a key for the door. Not that sized. How far, I wonder? Looks like some sort of key. Yes, it does. Very tiny, simple key. The little key is doing inside a figure of a policeman in the first place. What's it for? Check out that booty. Square ass booty. It's like playing Tomb Raider all over again. So have you worked out if it's a gun yet? Excuse me. Oi, 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 sorry, sir. Can't see anything, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right, perhaps I should be better leave you to your work then. He's crying. He's crying over evidence! Stop that! Excuse me. Oi, oi, oi. They're looking down on us for the great bronze, Inspector. Don't worry. We'll look after the things here in the yard. I've had some deep thoughts here. They're not fucking saying anything. Excuse me. Poor man. Could possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Babbling again. An empty fireplace makes room for feel even colder than would be otherwise. It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lives in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all, and merely visited when the occasion arose. I'd seem which was way more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. Gina, what's Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? Oh, that's what I want to know. It's what after a year ago since I got the clink. That's when I decided to give up on my diving and become a detective instead. Well, Sherm twisted the inspector's arm to agree to make you on his apprentice, didn't he? Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I don't really know what much about this boss still then. But it turns out he's a bit of a legend in the yard. Goodness, really? They say he managed to solve some really tricky cases like that. He did. Yep. And ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one, not even in the yard, knows what half the cases he's working on are, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, right? Is it? So what's the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? I know he had a lot of respect to the Reaper and all, but then look what landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I just say as much. I take my hat off to that fella. Here are his words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, but the boss said he's exactly where respected the bloke. I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such a high regard. He said something else to me and all. That I don't need to worry about the Reaper because he only goes after people who want a bad. It did kind of set me in mind. Wait, was Gregson the Reaper? Right. What's this place then? Does anyone live here?
apparently being rented by some Hugh Bone. Hugh Bone? Is that sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, isn't it? Yeah, because an unidentified person, they haven't been able to get in touch with him. I see. Well, judging from the appearances, I'd say this place isn't quite lived in for a long time, if ever. Right, that's the lads on the yard to keep pulling and get stuck in the investigation. But little scares to know the with themselves. I do wonder. Yes, Miss Edison? Well, could it be that this huge boner, is in fact Inspector Gretchen himself? What would that be? If this investigation is on his own, quite possible that it was in fact the kind of secret office of his. I'd never considered that. Nice work, Psycho Sues are actually following the line and queries with themselves. You are? Look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hit that in. We should really investigate the place in detail. I see the poor inspector was found over there. Looks like a dog. Yeah, that's right. That said, it's a single bullet that did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through them and stuck the candlestick in the wall. Yes, it's blown of one of the candles completely. And the gun is on the floor with the Reaper in it. It's the Reaper written on that. What, really? How do you know that? Take it easy! I don't know what with myself, but I see out with him big white eyes. I'm saying what everyone would have heard. I don't know much about the gun itself. It's a bigwig lawman, or whatever who says, ask him. Bigwig lawman. Is it? Anyway, get some streets run along under the window there. There's some street sellers outside that heard the shot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've been taken down the yard for questioning. That's why. Talking about the yard's legendary inspector here. After all, they'll all be getting grilling. You think we might be able to fix those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads in the yard just want to know what are snooping around. They'll be grilling and all. You can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Where's the bullet hole? I can't see the candle holder clearly blown off. That's the wax splatters in the wall behind, look. As far as the bullet hit it, it does seem like the bullet hit the candle. And first pierced through the inspector's body. Now the wax on the wall looks like blood to me. Candelabra. The most important item in Terraria. It will be Kazuma. Hey, there are black marks over here, look. Ah yes, they look some sort of scorch marks? Perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? And then the candle one's cracked in half, and it seems. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. Todd Von Karma. Todd Karma, no! Yeah, what do you make of this? What's that? Evidence? You're working something about what's happened, have ya? Oh, no. No, exactly. I ain't been long enough to the job to get all this deducting business yet. But I swear I'm going to get the person who did this with my boss.
Wait, I want to know what it says. Oh, look, we have an opportunity here now, while the governor's away. Donato, you can be president if you get caught. That's a good point. Perhaps it's not then. It's all the same thing. Susie, we need help with guns. You're kind of wielding a gun. Iris, we need your gun expertise. Somebody very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? It would seem they couldn't really call out the window to anyone. I remember the window opposite Addison's room. It was totally broken up with bricks. These one does at least have let some light in, wouldn't you agree? You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Addison now. Fuck Mr. Addison. There's the actual corpse. I suppose this is where the victim. That's right, the rope laid around the body is exactly where it was found. Once Dr. Gretchen himself has already been taken away. It'll probably be under Dr. Sai's scalpel by now, if not for that happened to last week. By the shape of the rope, it would appear that Vector was curled up in a ball? What a pussy! You feeling alright, Miss Dodo? Looks like you've just seen a ghost. I know, just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image. That's all. Especially with the blood stain next to it. I'll look it up and see what type of blood it is. Wait, no, don't! In some ways, what we picture in our minds can even be worse than reality. Those are so strong. He's taking this far better than I am. Hello, hello, what's all this then? Yes, you make good time. I took express train back to London. Hey, little Shanghai, can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Is everything in place? I had a private compartment in the train, so I could check all the paperwork. It's Kazuma-sama. Ah! The time is impeccable! Much like my dove man. It is? No doubt you haven't heard of the sickening news. The Reaper's last delivery. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe the course, though, Lord Songhart. The Lord Van Zeke could have done such a thing, said Inspector Gregson. I only believe in the facts. The facts of the case are pointing to some one thing. The unavoidable accusation of Lord Van Zeke to this crime. We must bring charges against Reaper taking the life of the legendary detective. Oh no, surely not. It's truly a critical situation. Tomorrow, the fourth forensic science symposium finally begins. At the very least, although we can show the world our justice system's swift and critical process. Does that mean the trial tomorrow, precisely, will be on in fact, the final opportunity for the introductions. Kazuma. Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted with, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be presented tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution. What? Nani? Kazuma.
I'm sure you're aware. He's a very capable practitioner of the law.
Kazuma Pasuma, a prosecutor.
And with these swords, I shall name my grandchild Edgeworth. With my edgy blades. I'm sure you can imagine tomorrow's trial will be closely followed by over London. In fact, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in the trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock.
Quite so. The public want to answer about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those escaped convicts subsequently died mysterious deaths.
Lord Van Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. We've been thoroughly investigating what has been proven to be innocent.
That's certainly true. Or has it been, at least, until now? No, tomorrow's trial. It'll mark the start of a new chapter in country's great judicial history. Caw, caw. That one wasn't a dove, you asshole, it was a parrot.
So Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow.
That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Song Chang-ha.
Copper's young law professors that can't not pick to choose their roles. And I imagine that it'll be meaningful prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. That's a devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Also, he just looks like a goddamn fucking assassin. Ezio, is that you?
I doubt all that Kazuma would be
razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-sama? There's surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to do this trial.
You asked for this? But why?
It will become clear tomorrow. Haha! I must prosecute this trial. Son, you cannot prosecute this trial. I must prosecute this trial. Okay, but I'm my father. Ah! I'm guessing you intend to stand for defense, don't you? Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised that a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented, quite exceptional in fact.
You're quite right, Mr. McCarpenter. Tomorrow will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of the greatest of persecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give a public reason to perceive that the judiciary closed ranks.
That's why I have you let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed, practicing the law in the land for many months.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh yes, I noticed that the gun in the scene is expected to get to death. Did it belong to Lord Van Zeeks?
That'll be a question for the lead detective investigation at the scene.
But the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me to ask somebody up higher up that might know. That's right, Naruto. Be direct.
That's not the model that issued by all personnel involved in law enforcement,
Yes, which includes prosecutors, and I'm sure you can imagine. In that case, it could actually belong to the victim.
No, Gregson had his gun in his person.
What about Lord Van Zeeks? He claims to currently not be in his possession.
What? According to the story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
Just because the gun is questioned the same type as the offender has no proof it's actually his.
No, of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zeeks.
I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but I'll be alright now.
Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, I remember everything, including what was coming here to do.
Right. Kazuma-sama! I can't tell how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how do you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing a voice in my head constantly saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. Wait. It was that voice that guided me here, to London. I'm so sorry for what has happened. Anyway, my memories might have returned to me. But there's something that I won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure your pass will cross again very soon. Doesn't look like we're going to get much more here. But thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will be going down in our Empire's history. There's much for you to learn. You could learn from the public gallery. So I'll take it up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Before you go, Runosuke. Oh, what is it? Kamaza. I just wanted to. Thank you. Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination heart and brought it with you all over the ocean into Dynasty. And you carried out my role with perfection. You always were at attention to studying British law in order to change our justice system. That was your dream, so I didn't want to die with you. Yes, but I have another purpose for coming here. Oh? No, I'll not explain now. I actually have a favour to ask you. Which is, the trial will be proceeding tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me. At the defense counsel. Why? What's this all about? I know you have waited. I know what it takes. But Lord Van Zeke would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. But here, have a look at this. That's Lord Van Zeke's, Inspector Gregson. A photograph that must have been taken some time ago. Look of it. And that third person. It was displayed very prominently in the detective office. In Gregson's office, you mean? Yes, that's what I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talk makes him take a different view. Take it. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Let's hurry, this guy. 50 hours in prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? Ha-ha! Still reading the letter. It's been like 5 hours. We've been going quite some time though. Either he's incredibly slow reader, or he's incredibly long letter. Might even be read English faster than he can. Blur, I can hear you. I attempted to ignore you entirely. But I can't turn deaf ears to such insulting Japanese. Oh, sorry? I don't think you hear that. Blur. I have a case note brought to me in secret. I was reading on past the time. Well, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow. Which is nonsense of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times I must have been read the same? This is not to do with you. In other words, no. We just talked to Lord Strongheart and the prosecutor of your trial has been decided. I bet nothing less. Although I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Soki. Gah! Kasoge! Gah! My hernia! With the cauldron of his face. Blur. Ha! Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in a conversation with you again after all. Talk to me! Talk to me! 10 years ago, my older brother, who was the detective of the prosecution this time, was murdered. And yet the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by that I don't curse the name of Sogi. Kenton Sogi was Kazuma's father. Though what could have further faces this, 10 years later, the man's son crucified me in the kangaroo court. I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It was what he does. Not that he knows the young man's true identity from the outset. What could have been he hoping to achieve? Let's not forget that only 8 years ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. 8 days ago. Why would Lord Strongheart assign a trial to somebody like that? Asogi. That name is a very implement of my band. The band that is of you Japanese. Rated all Japanese. The only other person, I'd only just been a part of the prosecutor what happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the detective producer, was hunted down as a mass murderer. He so-called professor. He assigned the investigation to his partner, a certain visiting student that bashed in the Scotland Yard. And that was Genshin Isogi. Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed to be noble-minded, chivalrous, and it seemed to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. Blur. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, people I believed in. But my semblance of right prevailed over wrong. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I pursued Asogi's trial. And it wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribe the prosecution. What do you mean by ascribe the prosecutor? I kicked him in the shin until he let me do it. Haha. The man in charge Professor's case inquiry, Lord Menel Strongheart. Wait, Lord Strongheart? He was highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me to act as my advisor instead. Since then, he is the only person who I felt indebted. I'm sure he must have been seeing your zeal from the case and recognized your potential as prosecutor. Bleh. Anyway, time passed, but earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? And all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obviously deep loathing of us Japanese. What are Japanese? I don't know your Nipponese. I kept telling myself it's illogical, but for many years, that hatred fostered inside me. I could no longer control it. I can understand why, and now I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt Nipponese to be a bane of my life, Kazuma Sogi, I am the bane of his, the reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. Written transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture finally been arranged the coming month. He'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yes, I came to think of it. He did mention something about that, didn't he? I wonder, does this happen often? He transportation. He was only 4 weeks away from retirement, and he died. Who could have seen it happening? First time I've ever encountered it. Oh, the password as a welcoming English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Greg must have used to arrange a place in that place. Sounds like a mystery even the Reapers perplexed. I'm afraid to say that we're very ignorant of Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he considers to be something of a legend at the Scotland Yard. Blair. Again, it was 10 years ago that first made his name for himself. By uncovering the decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. It was Gregson's singular approach to the case, to discover who had been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken on, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago. Why is that so surprising? Autopsies were considered desecration of the body at the time, rarely performed. My brother was, of course, a noble, and that made the idea even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up with the investigation made him determined it was necessary. His powerful convincing somehow influenced the House of the Lords. As a result, I could avenge my brother's death. Blur. So you must have had a great confidence in Inspector's ability then. That's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I didn't have confidence in anyone. I am sure that Gregson never felt the same way. I have no doubt I thought only ominous of the Reaper, just like the rest of London. What really went on between Lord Van Zeke and Gregson, I wonder? The true nature of their relationship. I bet the gun you used to shoot the Inspector... I bet the gun that was used to shoot the Inspector... Oh yes, that's not mine. Really? Because the common point is that it is. What do you expect me to say that? What's your account infamous as for you claiming to have misplaced your firearm? As embarrassing as it is, I am afraid this is true. When did you lose it then? That I don't know. Oh? I issued a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps. The fucking gun, man! Jesus Christ! You're something somewhere with Lord Van Zeke after all, Mr. Naruto. A talent for misplacing things. No. That's nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of us, because associate me with his nipping ears. Oh dear. The rift is very wide. It is. The rift is wide, it is! So it's detective evidence. Blah. Eat this. Eat this delicious picture. Lord Van Zeke, we came by this odd photograph. Where did you get that? Every time I look at it, it makes me laugh. What the hell is on Gregson's head? It was taken when I became qualified because it's almost unbelievable. I assume it was long lost. The manual left there. Yes, that's my brother, Clint. Had to be real. Had to be really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, and you're aware of that. Blah, respect? That's nonsense. Oh, we've heard that. Arresting very clearly his resurrection lines say no less. Blah. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time that things were like that. Clint Van Zeke. We were brothers in arms, joyfully discussing the future of the justice in our lofty subject matter. That's a nice glimpse of the past. Thank you. I feel though I got a nice glimpse of the past then too. The glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle. Insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the Stone Cold Reaper of the Bailey. I actually own a cat cafe. I invented it. I hope the Nipponese don't steal it. And there's just not a door like writing down notes. Cat cafe. Shiba cafes. Yes. Alright, that's the first time I've ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or the lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? That which you see if your eyes across another's courtroom is simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zeke. The very first time we clashed in the Bailey months a year ago now. I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. He is a loathsome Nipponese. He has absolute integrity an absolute integrity as a lawyer. There's only two other men I've known with that same link in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Jinsei Asoki. Men idolizes the man who betrayed his trust the most hideous way. When you showed me that photograph now, it reminded me. You mean this photograph? Hahaha, sorry, it made me laugh. Back then I was able to laugh. I was free to fear the shackles of mistrust and plague me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mirror which I sunk myself makes it impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruto. Blah. I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. Tomorrow's trial, you will advocate for me. Of course I will. It would be an honor. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruto. My life is in your hands. Blah. Lord Venzik must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I said we cannot let the man down. Tomorrow is Old Bailey against my old friend Kazuma. I felt this is going to be a very short case, because 3 was a very long case. I reckon this is going to be a short case, and the final case is going to take fucking forever. Because the final case in Phoenix Wright Games take forever. You best get to see Naruto's outfit. The 2nd November. I don't know if you already saw it. 8:56 AM. Old Bailey Defendant's Arch Chamber. There's an old familiar feeling again. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's even more menacing tension in the air. Oh, sorry I farted. Oh, sorry I farted. There's menacing tension in the air today, isn't it? I suppose. Yes, I think so. Blah. That can only be a result of a menacing appearance of the defendant. As a more courtesy, if you'll please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaken that the child is far from ordinary. What do you mean? Blah. I'm not privy to the details, however. I understand that no jury has been selected. What the fuck? Trial without jury? Well, that's just like a trial of the 5th of 10 years ago. Closed court. Good morning, my dear fellows! Mr. Sholmes, hey, he's got his white hair back. Have you made notes of my hair, Mr. Naruto? It's a narrow victory for science, I must agree. I like the blue. To be perfectly honest, much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ha! That's what one man little hair problem. Is another day of drinking dubious potions after another dubious potion. You have no idea, my stomach lies me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. So he just kept drinking chemicals until his hair went back to white? I'm afraid you have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning to you, Reaper. I'm delighted to see you're looking so full of vim. Blah, a new London celebrated great detective as ever I've seen. So you exaggerate, my fellow. Compared to my prodigy engagement, I have a very few trial cases. The Reaper's overbearing presence is far greater deterrent to block the route of crime in our capital. Blah. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there's at least one point at which I would readily commend you. Blah, that would be an honor. What would that be? He just spent all day drinking hair dye until his hair grew back to white color. Your eyes are good lawyer. A good lawyer, sir. Mr. Sholmes. After all, I'm the lawyer that has a very great mind. My own. Blah, what are you trying to say? I wish only that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Throw to barge in. Oh, fuck. She has, like, a proper inspector's badge now. Gina. What's on her arm? A morning band, I suppose? Father, shouldn't you be at the symposium?
It's been postponed, so I have to fast some free time. I tried to come along to police inspector to see the country come up against the student action. I'll be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year.
Well, it's an honour to have you here. Let's hope there's some fruits to see.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, Gina?
Why do you agree to do this, eh? Why do you take it on? This Reaper bloke. Everyone's saying it was him what killed the boss.
I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that.
Well, if it ain't him, then who was it?
I don't know that yet.
I don't care what calls him what. Reaper's just a name. It's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him who killed the boss, then God help him. Blah, fuck you.
Fire as indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loving.
At least that's maybe to be certain to the degree. Please, Otto. Get whoever did this for the boss.
Oh, Gina.
I ain't feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So you've got to do this. You got to find who did this and make the rich pay. Oi, oi, oi. Counsel on the defense, then the defendant. The court will now be in session shortly. Make your way to the courtroom, please. Oi, oi, oi.
Alright then, here we go.
At your time, Mr. Nardo. Lord Van Zeek.
The one who is the most treasured brother mass murderer. And one who lost his treasured father. And more importantly, he lost his heroine when he lost his memories. His poor heroine will never return. And the one who lost the man who helped her escape the destitution. All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light all of the dark events.
Wait, why am I in a flashback? I didn't do shit! And whatever truth is revealed, we're going to have a look at the straight in the eye.
Everything's drinkable and everything's edible. But sometimes only once. Meeting number 9:22 AM. Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, name of Majesty, I will declare the quorum to be in session. We're here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Brooke Van Zeek. Counsel for the defense, prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready.
The prosecution is more than ready.
Oh, Cousin Smith. I've been wishing to see you in the court again for so long. It feels... But I never pictured it happening like this. I never thought it'd be facing you behind the prosecution bench. Ho ho ho! The court Reaper of the Bailey. He's been a scourge like no other amongst Her Majesty's system. Today, you must uncover the truth behind the scourge. In other words, the trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Grayson's murder. Truth revealed proceedings may be unpredictable repercussions throughout the judiciary. Accordingly, this must be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders. And who the fuck are all these people in the background? I can see them behind me! How will that work, my lord? The burden of the retribution and justice falls on my shoulders. As you will see, the bench will remain vacant today. Some members of the public are present. I might ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord. The members of the judiciary, from the witness proceedings to the equitable trial. Members of the judiciary. Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already. Then of course, unpredicted aspect of these proceedings I must elaborate. Counsel for the prosecution and the defense, are both aliens to Great Britain. We want to anal probe you. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in the courtroom, I will now quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come here to Britain. Cosimo. Very well, let's commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. Ooh, his scroll is bigger than Lord Van Zeek's. I think he's overcompensating for something. The incident took place on 1st of November, just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was building flat, Ferron Street, on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered in the old single-room rental property. Oh, yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson. Name went well into court. Not for least, the miraculous resolution of one of the country's greatest crimes 10 years ago. I just noticed I have a mouse on my shoulder. A fucking mouse mascot on my shoulder in this costume. How did I miss that? I'm not sure about this time for the incident. Several witnesses on the outside heard the gunshots and all have been reported at the same time. Yes, that would be Gina told us. Gina too were a number of witnesses. I have here a plan of the room. This has been found killed up in the corner. Believe that he was shot from the front point blank range. It died instantaneously. How the range being determined. There's scorch marks around the entry wound. Marks are caused by gunpowder used on fire the bullet. But the powder hot enough to leave a scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, only happens when the target is at point blank range. Oh, I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. The murder weapon is found lying beside the victim. Hey, I was talking, shut up. Target was 25 British, time of death. Time of death is blank. Victim was shot in the chest, close range and front, resulting in instant death. Scorch marks, point entry. Additional vision. The caliber of gun uses match is the same entry firearm is all of the judiciary. The murder weapon is found lying inside the victim. And even matters are said the owner of this firearm. No, my lord. Not conclusively. However, Cosmo-sama, we're not trying to use a gun as evidence when it's proven to be can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, I've explained the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. He has a candle mounted on the wall. The tip of the candle was found to have been blown off by the projectile. We noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Oh, thank you for your report, Counsel. Stating the crime is clear to me. We now submit the plan for the crime scene to evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Oh, this phone's me. Room Inspector Gregson 500 bold? No, my lord. The room is rented by Mr. Huge Borner. There's a huge Borner in the crowd. But there are precious little firm furniture inside. It's generally poor state of repair. So what on earth was he doing there? So he was investigating the crime in case or another. When the policemen found the gunshots, the witness rushed to the scene and found only the deceased inspector and then Kuz standing alongside, holding the revolver. The attendant of the official arrested the Kuz on the spot. Haha! The detail of the case is clear. That is the case. Prosecution would like to call its first witness. Name him, please, Counsel. Naturally, the accused himself. Lord Van Zeek? As a prosecutor, he believes the oath of the office is taken. He will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well. If anyone will take the witness stand. No, you're on my shoulder. And you're the precursor to the Blue Badger. That's what you'll become in the future. So witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Baruch Van Zeek, Odd Billy Prosecutor. Oh, I presume, Lord Van Zeek, that you heard the prosecutors oppose the opening Fairy Acts? I did. It's alleged that you were found at the scene found the crime. and you were arrested for driving the police officer. Did you confirm this? Blur. Yes, my lord. Then I'm sure your court would like to hear you explain something that way. Namely, why you were in the room in the first Street, the first question. And what exactly took place. And tell there's been nothing. I will simply tell the truth. Oh, Mr. Lord Van Zeek. I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I don't want to imagine it would come. Being since you became known as the Reaper. Oh, part of me has been dreading it. Don't worry, Linkley. You'll learn what the Blue Badger is in the later games. Your former test enemy witness. Or you can type the Blue Badger into Discord's gift searcher and you'll see the Blue Badger. Fact of the incident. I was investigating quick inquiry. He led me to the address. When I first entered the room that day, there was dark inside. I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and I saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked up the firearm to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that I had that I saw the body of the Inspector Garrett that heard me. The testimony was the whole truth. Bleh, it was. So you heard the gunshot being fired before the room was living occupants. Oh no, it should be the Blue Badger for Halloween. The moments later, the corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, it would barely qualify as an excuse. Blur. Although I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yet, it turns out you have a way with words. Prosecutor Asogi. It appears to have been singular tailored indeed. Singular isn't the word. Laughable. What's going into Cosmo? He's not behaving like himself at all. Very well then. Counsel, may I begin your cross-examination? Yes, my lord. Facts of the incident. I was investigating Gregson inquiries that led me to the address. Hold it! So you're investigating the inspector? What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry? I identified the distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in the case which I was investigating. Regrettably though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Does this court understand that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No. I was privy to these moments in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on 4th Street was noted at 5 PM entry. You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone is considered a very serious offense. As a Great Britain, I assure you, this is not the case, Lord Van Zeek. Blah, I was aware of the possible consequences. So, in summary, you were investigating the victim, and yet you refused to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose to vote on the oath. Did I ever think I could defend this man? Blur. When I first entered the room, it was dark inside. I saw no one. Hold it! Wait a second. I see the contradiction here. I never thought to learn to. There's no light inside when I entered, so I saw it was impossible to make out anything. At 5 PM, the sun would have just gone down. Would it still have been reasonably light outside? The room has a window, but it was boarded up shut. The very little light was found when from outside, so it was extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There's no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure. Blur. Part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling that there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, although I couldn't say for certain. Look, there's another Small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember. I remember, and the old one lamp on it. Just the frame photo. When I entered the room, blur, I closed the door behind me and sided on one side of the desk to investigate. And what did you find? Nothing. There's nothing actually reached the desk.
Objection!
What the fuck? I love this. I presented the wrong piece of fucking evidence. How's that not the fucking evidence? It's clear evidence that it was lit. That's the evidence.
Objection!
What the fuck? Okay, this is some bullshit. The first time I entered the room, it said it was dark inside. I saw no one. He was shot in front of a burning candelabra. And I have proof the candelabra was burning.
Hold it!
So, who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room. You saw it very dark in there. Yes, that's right. It proves it itself, look. You can see where it got shot off and the other ones are burned down. And there's only like one candle at a time. Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I don't sense any another presence. Then could it be? The gunshot actually ignited from somewhere else inside the room, outside the room. No, that's out of the question. Without a doubt, the sound of movement inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder. Ah, this is going from bad to worse. You said the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor. Correct. Foolish pick it up. That's careless of my part. Oh, presumably then, because you heard came from the firearm you somewhat hastily took in your hand. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of bent powder. But then, when after that gun, when the gun was fired? But I'd like to oblige you with my answer. I'm afraid I cannot. Two would be I would dearly like to know that. But the fire minute the door flew open and I heard a man scream.
Hold it!
A man, you say? One witness, I presume. That is right. One of the three merchants working on Federal Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. The match seller, the newspaper monger, and the peddler, they all have been given statements saying they heard the gunshot. Without a thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Gino told us about yesterday. They burst through the door and found the fire with some force, it would seem. There, they did. That almost gave me a heart attack in the process. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. Blur. The first man that came immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. A policeman patrolling on Pheasant Street had the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident had occurred. Hoo-ha! Blur. Any other man screamed through the chance of my direction. was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? They appeared. Bleh, honestly I cannot explain it, but there's a truth. As far as I'm concerned, the body hadn't been there until at that point. Then suddenly, was there like a fake floor or hidden wall? Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim fall into the ground beforehand? Bleh, at that moment what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first, nothing more. I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. It was stunned to find it was Gregson. What cruel circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed or how the body was seen to be appear in front of nowhere, I have no idea.
Objection!
Surely the court has heard enough. My lord, cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Von Volkvanziek, is lying on multiple fronts. What? What's that supposed to mean? Goodness gracious, Consul. The defendant is lying, you say? He said to me just now. Because they failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. Bleh, that is correct. No, that's impossible. Proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? It's over the tip of the candelabrum. You can see that it's been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume the projectile of a firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem is to come to consider the two candles were clearly at different lengths. Oh yes, I can see that only one candle appears to have been struck by the bullet. The bullet is long. I could reasonably accept that someone had lit all the candles together, which begs the question of why only one of them ended up being longer than the others. That we must because of the particular candles that extinguished when the others were still burning. Ah, that is right. The candle was hit by the bullet. Obviously, it went out. But the other two candles still have been burning. In fact, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the thrown by the candelabrum. The accused claims could not have seen the body. It clearly contradicts the facts. Bleh. That's what I wanted to point out. That's my point, you bastard. And now the next lie. There's more? Because other claims never have visited the scene of the crime find before. Bleh, that's the truth. That's almost it. That empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A bog covered at top to bottom with documents of newspaper clippings. Oh yes, that's right. We saw that too. According to that saying, the contents of police documents cannot be divulged. However, they include numbers of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? It's starting to sound familiar. And there's a common thread, like all of the documents in the board. Oh, indeed, the common thread, Council? All related to questions put by the court by Baruch Van Zieks. All of them? And furthermore, all these cases are on one which the defendant was acquitted. Oh, good lord. Interestingly, none of these defendants are alive today, because of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Ah. I know. In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout, the base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? And yet the Reaper will claim to never have been in the room his own secret hideout. No one believes that, not even the truth is. We've been looking into that backwards. Backwards? Good morning, Council. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine. By the Reaper's hands. What? That is all conjecture. That is all complete conjecture at all. None of that can be proven. Order! Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Baruch Zik is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to this country. However, this is with this difficult I must accuse with the condition. That defendant's testimony exhibits a number of sickening inconsistencies to known facts. Blah. All I've done is state the truth as I know it. He has done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as defense attorney to build his prosecution case. And it's formidable. Oh, counsel. You submit the board this show to the court as evidence. Maybe there'll be fundamental in this establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. It is a closed court. Hello, hand. Oh, what's this? No, look. It's just smudges of some kind. In fact, it looks just like a handprint. And the color. It's blood, isn't it? Oh dear. How disturbing. Anything on the feet? There's details of whom we've rafted. A whole raft of cases dating back years on there, aren't there? This paper is from 10 years ago. Browning with age. Look. Out of interest, most of these recent appears to be the newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same red-headed league of advertisement that Mr. James picked out. Do you remember? The redhead piece is seen too. Was a pretty excellent experiment of the redhead league then? They're all people from the judiciary. Judges, lawyers, like, they're all judiciary members. Overseeing, because it's like cases important to the judiciary. And that's why we would like to call a new witness to the stand. Witness who saw the events unfold on the day in question. They mentioned the previous testimony, if they remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshots ring into the room. Oh, very well. The other witness is in. Feds may step down for the witness stand. Blah, certainly, my lord. That's that guy! I think he was fired. So witnesses, state your name and occupation for the court. We're just free and easy, son, like we like, where we like, wanna live. Get off the vacancies, the first spin and then for the faces of them. Ah, being right assuming that all three of you make a living selling wares on the street. Everyone looks aggressive. I've shown remember? Dirty little tidbits? I got absolute treasure for you, sir. Wait, you're actually trying to sell me now? Try me. Give me the money. Let's see what it is. Pay the man, counsel. All right. 6 pence it is. Look at this, sir. I can run over I want my money back. That's it. I'm curious, yes, about what's going on underneath that fat bundle of yours. Namely, unusual bruises that you're poking out from your collar. The next witness, then. No name, I want you to go to that to yourself. Me? I'm Venus. And what everyone calls funny, innit? I saw these lovely little fireworks, all the local school kids. 6 pence a pop, what do you say? You're supposed to drop those, don't explode your fucking fingers. You're exaggerating a little. I'll change Gossip's voice. The thinking is can't enough of the Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them they got 100 they could blow up at school. Oh, not the most extravagant ideas, young lady. What do you say then, huh? Want a pop for 6 pence for a pop? Wait, what? Want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you do one little secret. If you get 100 of them, I could blow up a whole courtroom. Try the woman. Give her the money, see if she's alright. Pay the woman, Cattle. For fuck's sake! Alright. I'll buy one. Lovely stuff. Right then. Here's something a little bit extra just for you. Venus special. Only 600 pence. That's a big explosion. 600. It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? There's nothing more about the punishment if I blow up the Old Bailey, either. I actually got the firecrackers? Then the last witness. Then your name's going what you do, sir. I missed it. Have an idea, Mr. Nodo? It's time to set you the string of fireworks. Sorry, it's just that Venus special. I'm wondering what 600 pence's worth of fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? What? But you already blew up the courtroom. Alright, that was fairly sizable bang. These are still ringing, Mr. Nodo. Sounds like it was exactly like a gunshot. Let's witness. What's the name we're going to sell? I'm the thinker. I sort of things. I think. Therefore, I am. I think. Because I stand here on the street, watching the world go by about me. They call me the Observer. Get it out, old man. Everyone calls the sandwich, you know it. So you don't actually sell anything. Problem is shared is the problem halved. They say, I give advice, and I think that's what it means. I don't actually sell anything, no. Come think of it. Pity. No more purchases today, please. I think quite the cast here, it seems. They all conduct their business in Felser Street from the morning until night, my lord. They're always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. Oh, I see thus I heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what's going on, to witness the crime. Oh, I was ragged to thought, just between us. Where's Venus Meadow? What am I to do? Terrible thing I saw. What I think is what we see in the light of the shadow playing in our eyes. The only thing real. Ho, very well. Look over here, the former testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe the detail what you witnessed and heard that incident. I saw the whole thing start to finish, you did. Everything from the moment they went to the building. It was less than a minute after Reaper had gone inside when I had heard a big bang. It seems to me the quick walk. Gossip wouldn't wait to go inside and see what happened. I ran to the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. I was scared of my life to death, so I ran off to find a copper. The witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything. Who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and their cause. Fuck Franzik. I just picked up the print of paper. That's what I knew it would look like. I just between us spoke. Lots of stories like this, I know so tiny bit of song already. Wait, the courtroom didn't want to sell flats in the building. Someone on the other flats might have done it. Blah. All those flats on the foot of the street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They're so damn dirty and such a little to root. The rooms in which the inspector found are the only one property in the building I currently leased. We know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hughbone. The court just so it appeared to leave little room for doubt. It became increasingly difficult to see any other defendant could have committed this crime. No. Thank you for your counter, my lord. Counter for the defense. You may proceed your cross-examination of the witnesses. Yes, my lord. I close call like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down the testimony somehow. Hope it's easy to understand now. Instead of flipping my lips, I'm just holding the lip I'm holding his lip the same spot it's grown in his mouth. I saw the whole thing from start to finish. Everything from the rent to get into the building.
Hold it!
When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zeek? I should say, it's like other than names the high Conradi. I said you know one thing. There's old Rupert that went into last, that's for sure certain. That's better, Inspector Gregson. Didn't they arrive at the same time as each other? No, not at all. The first time I was going inside, I got 15 minutes before I heard the gunshot. Your victim arrived 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that? I'm sure. Because it doesn't seem like it's going to show it's right here like that, does it? Yeah, head was really red, wasn't it? Redder than any flaming fireworks even. That's burning up, still burning like inside my mouth, that is. Wait a minute. You saying Ben was red-headed? I didn't say John? Aye, it was redhead. It was Rick Chocolate. He had a huge chocolate too as well. Inspector Gregson hair isn't red. What about any such imagination? Seems likely that your person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I had the better deal. But there was a witness correct. What? Just have a look at this photograph. The victim in the scene. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, all right. The red headpiece. Ah! Of course. We was one of those before when we investigated the scene, didn't we? So refused to believe Inspector Gregson wore the headpiece, though. So, why on earth have you been wearing something like that? Not sensitive student, the man, what might say. Photograph will be submitted to the evidence. Please cancel. Look at this photograph! What became of the trunk that the redheaded victim was supposed to be carrying? Poor Mr. Greggy. I was informed. No trunk was found at the scene. So it just disappeared. Right, I just had that have walked in the building every second to you. Definitely saw him up the dock going though. No question about it. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside. We heard a big bang.
Hold it!
Which presumably I meant by the gunshot. I said these little things, don't I? How would it make the... How would I know what a gunshot sounds like? Before I thought it probably sounds like a bit like this, doesn't it? You saying you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw their friend enter the building? That's right, I was almost straight away. Bang! It went just like that. Oh, he's a Reaper, isn't he? The French call the Fatal Company. There is around, people are going to go to ground. I mean, that's what it does, doesn't it? I think we get the message. Blah. The pair couldn't be allowed to inspect the lift after they discovered this secret hideout. There cannot be no clear motive for crime. Yes. Certainly a semi-criminal move. Great. And the point is that he ran inside, is that correct? It seems to me that quick to talk, quick to walk, Gossip couldn't wait to go around and happen.
Hold it!
So when Gossip ran to see what happened, did you go too? Me? Bit hamper. You see, the sun's all I can move very well. You're way behind them, presumably, with that sandwich board around your neck, the big sign of his head. What's so great about Bird the Bear? Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but is it possible we've met before? I'm not anybody, me. The signs we make, that's who I am. I'm the sign for who I am. So, you weren't employed by the omnibus driver just under a year ago then? I might be mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Nando. Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot. Turning down Hiking Street, black windows, just the idea made him hide behind his sign. Life is full of surprises. I didn't tell you the gun in his hand, standing over the body.
Hold it!
So when the first person arrived at the scene, that was right. That it was. Kicked the door open, the sentinel did, and they yelled out, "What's going on in here?" Lovin thinks he said heard a man scream though. It was dark inside the room. Not dark at all, just kids dirty on the wall. Really? And her cloth on the floor. Just seen us, the first thing I noticed as I got inside. Ah, I see. Even though Lord Van Zeeks claims not to have seen any such light in the wall. Next I noticed the sun standing right inside the body. The accused, Lord Van Zeek. I tried to have history for himself. Because I got stacked urgent, I won't deny it, I'd not line crowd. I still I ground against you a cold-hearted as himself.
Excuse me.
You have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head, I am just two slices in the middle. So I don't know what you want with me. I think maybe you just remembered something. Having him as the gossip's latest statement, I mean. What I think is nothing really. We try to dress ourselves sometimes, but at the end of the day, we're all just straight sellers. I don't know something sandwich. Can you trust shut now? There's no room for real sandwich. When we saw the Reaper, he fell clean over his backside. That's it. You're an untiger. You're told the secret. He screamed. He did. He screamed just so scrambled off on all fours. That's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gossip, it's true. A horror's dead truth, that's why. I found my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck. What? Pool of blood? But listen here. Even on the foot of the floor, I still kept giving her a cold-hearted stare. I don't think I got that. Just to get back, do you see blood on your hand? I did. I did it just at the time, didn't it? I was scared. I just set that over. I kept getting it between us, okay? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that to your information to your formal testimony. Oh, if I must. Oh, well, when it's a many testimony, include the one detailed at once. I zipped over and got blood on my hands, so I quickly wiped it off the floor.
Hold it!
I think it's the board with the blood hand bang. Left hand off on the floor. Well, see what's blood in his hand, eh? Horrible stuff. Doesn't like getting done for. Not and I don't think it might be a problem. They only had great hands on the floor. They got cleaned up in the end, didn't they? They're such a fuss. Those are all minds. Oh, don't mind, Council. No, my lord. I don't remember anything in the report about a bloody handprint on the floor. That's all. Don't know that at all. Anything's with me. I know what I did. Wiped it off the floor. The blood. I wonder, could that be what happened? Mr. Nada, I don't have all the answers yet, but I think I might have just uncovered the vital clue. I was scared half to death of me. Every round I got the copper. I pushed the wrong button. I wanted E. So I could do
Objection!
this. You wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor. The room. Are you quite sure about that? Well, what do you expect me to have done there? Does it really matter?
Objection!
The police found no such handprint on the floor during the investigations. What exactly were the fences asserting?
Objection!
If you listen, you'll find out. Prosecutor Sogi? Certainly there was no blood handprint found. on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was handprint blood left very clearly on the scene. The back of this notice board. Ah! Oh, and this is nearly handprint on the blood. You're right, that's a hand. I know it anywhere.
Objection!
The witness is very satisfied with what wiped his hand off on the floor, yes. The handprint is back of the board. Are irrelevant. Not if the board itself had fallen onto the floor. In that case, it's quite possible the witness' handprint could have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. Look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board is up in the corner of the room of the victim, no upright position. If it had been someone propped over lying on the floor at the time, it would have been considerably distant from the body. Also, doesn't the door open to block the body? You think the first thing you saw was the body, but the door opens this way. The body would have been blocked. I held I came across the body. Was basically right next to the cot, not on the other side of the room. In other words, the friend's assertions is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very defined contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. Oh, I've taken form way to regarding this apparent description between the witness account and the handprint on the scene. I have, my lord. The subject between the witness account and the victim's handprint explained by... See you later, Edno. The real condition here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. Look, I can see it's upside down. But goodness gracious, there it is. If the witness has put his hand against the board, the fingers should be pointing upwards. What? What does that tell us? Tells one simple fact. When the handprint was made, the board must have been laying on the floor as previously suggested, which means after the incident, it must have been moved. Nutty!
Objection!
Because it's somebody moved the notice board after the shooting. Tell the court who. I don't know that yet, but the point is, when you consider all the testimonies we've heard so far, you can be very clear at one point. What would that be? Position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, I must ask you this to clarify your assertion for the courtroom. Some of the incident, where would you find the maintain the board was situated?
Take that!
It was right here, my lord. Goodness gracious. No, I'm afraid I don't quite get your logic. I'm disappointed, Renusuke. I'm in Japan, who taught you to have the praise to respect our elders. So I told you, Lordship sees your logic. You will know your place from this spot. Ah, bleh. Yes, he did. He took his sword back. Unreasonable. Try unfathomable. Anyway, I think I might have the answer now. I know the place, or rather, I know the board place. The council? Let's see where they can find the court.
Take that!
This is a possible location. Immediately adjacent to the doorway? The courtroom would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier. He said that when he entered the room, it was dark. He couldn't see the body. Black egg! If you know the body is in here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. And the light of the candle would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
But the accuser also claims that the victim's body was simply appeared before him. That's true. Or in his precise words, bleh. That's just how I picked the firearm up to examine it. The door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was on the other end of the body Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I didn't hear the scream. I wasn't talking about a mistake. Because it was me. I kicked the door open. Let's look again at the floor plan. You know what would happen if the door was kicked or was kicked open with force?